You got a nice house, fantastic. But even if you don't, and if you are thinking about one, you know one thing for sure, and that is energy efficiency that you desperately need for your house. In this video, we got some of the coolest options. Let's start with communication. Nowadays, every smart home device or gadget needs to communicate and can operate using a range of different protocols. Some of them are undoubtedly familiar. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Matter, Zigbee, Z-Wave, or they may just bear brand names, such as HomeKit compatible. Take a look at your list of devices and note whether you know what protocol any of them use. Often, it is simply written on the package or item itself. If you can't find the protocol, just make a note of the brand, and we'll figure it out in the following step. Don't worry if you don't have anything on your list. The following information will assist you decide how to make your initial purchase and begin building your system. Let's get to the exciting stuff, and we'll start with basic ways to operate those gadgets. Take a look at your list and start with the big brands, like Samsung and LG. They frequently have an app that you can use to control all of their devices. Sometimes you'll need at least one device, such as a TV, to operate as the system's brain, and sometimes a modest device or add-on hub can suffice. They normally make these apps very simple to use. You can add devices by scanning a QR code or just selecting them from a list. After that, they lead you through a few setup questions before you're finished. These brand apps will frequently support other brands. They are not as simple to set up as they once were, but they still work. They prefer that you stick with their app and its ecosystem, rather than switch to a different one. When you try to add a non-brand device, you might find that its functionality is limited, or that the setup process is more complicated. This is understandable, as they don't want to delve into the complexities of other manufacturers, so they may simply ask you which standard protocol your device uses. Remember, we talked about Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, and so on. Now, I know you're probably wondering, what should I buy? If you're planning to purchase your first device, it's best to select a protocol and stay with it. I recommend Zigbee, as it is one of the most commonly used protocols among smart home devices and is compatible with most hubs and ecosystems. These devices are also rather affordable. I'd start with a light bulb and a motion sensor. You can probably get all of this for under $70, which will allow you to start setting up a system. The nice part is that all of this can be applied to any system you eventually create or expand to. Dashboards are useful, but the best way to operate your smart home is through sensors. They allow you to continue about your day as your smart home adjusts based on your daily actions, such as entering a room, utilizing a kitchen counter, or opening the garage door. Sensors allow you to achieve all three of these criteria for the ultimate smart home. When you think about smart home sensors, you may think of the traditional touch and motion sensors, but it goes beyond that. Many of these sensors can be other smart home devices, such as a doorbell that detects a person and triggers an action in your smart home. The final option to operate your smart home is via smart buttons. These are for unusual situations where you need things to happen immediately, such as a button in the bathroom that sends the robot vacuum to clean this particular room. Sensors would fail because the timing is irregular, so now you know how to best control your smart home. We need a method to make it all happen. This allows you to unite all of your gadgets into a single dashboard, link sensors, and function as the brains of your smart home. There are a few factors you should consider while choosing the best system for your needs. When choosing a smart home system, you need also examine the type of sensors and gadgets you wish to use. There are 4 options: Thread, Zigbee, Z-Wave, and Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is fairly self-explanatory, while the other 3 use their own protocols. They create mesh networks of Thread, Zigbee, or Z-Wave devices that can grow throughout your home, without clogging up your Wi-Fi bandwidth. One thing to keep in mind is that if you choose a smart home system that is only compatible with Thread, you may run into some troubles because Thread is still relatively young, so you may have more complications than with Zigbee. Furthermore, many Thread devices cost more than their Zigbee counterparts. A good open-source automation platform you should try is Home Assistant. Assume you own an LG television and a Samsung washer and dryer. So, how should you decide which is right? Actually, there is no correct response. Try both. In many cases, you may add your devices to a variety of applications and discover which one you prefer. Or simply start with the brand for which you have the most devices. The goal at this point is to locate a single app that works with the most of your devices and that you feel comfortable using. After all, these apps will have the ability to plan actions. These are typically referred to as rules or automations, but they might also be something smart, like recipes. Let's take a minute to discuss automations. Smart home automations form the foundation of any system. They allow you to create logic around what you wish to achieve. You can also set up automations that are triggered by another device. For example, you could place a motion detector in your front hall. When you go past it, it will just switch on the lights in your hallway. When the motion stops or disappears, say after 5 minutes, the lights will be turned off again. Your initial automation should be as easy as this. Follow the simple rule. If this, then that. If motion, then light. Once you start using automations like this one, you'll see that you want to make minor changes. As an example, you may discover that you only want your lights to turn on at night, not throughout the day. So the true potential of automations emerges when you begin to add conditions to them. In this scenario, everything would remain the same. But when the motion was triggered, it would first verify that it was between sunset and morning. If it is, meaning it's dark outside, turn on the lights. If not, don't do anything. This might go a step further, as there are numerous gadgets that can measure light levels in a room. Often the sensor is integrated into motion sensors. Instead of using the time of day, you may utilize the light level sensor in your motion detector to determine whether to switch on or off the light. With that, you should have selected an app, added some devices, and configured some basic automations. You can stop here. Believe it or not, you now own a smart home. But you know what? Let's discuss the next level. At this stage, you may find that you are entirely satisfied with your smart home app and never wish to switch to another one. However, if you are like me, you may quickly recognize some restrictions. It's possible that the software you're using does not support the device you wish to add, or that the automations are simply too basic, insufficient conditions or flexibility. Another issue could be a loss of control. You might want to include a dashboard or another manner of operating your device outside of those automations, or even a switch to simply turn on and off the automations itself when you don't want the lights to turn on and off automatically. Google and Amazon both sell smart home devices that look quite similar to this. They usually provide voice control and some form of automation. Apple offers HomeKit, their version of a smart home automation technology. It's incorporated into Apple TV and select Apple HomePod speakers, and although this can be a terrific option if you have an Apple household, it's less useful if you use Android phones. And the fourth option, which we believe is the greatest, is something like Home Assistant or OpenHab. These are fully free and open source solutions. Previously, you needed some sort of computer expertise to set things up, but now you can buy ready-to-go gadgets if that's what you want. For example, you can purchase Home Assistant Green. It's a basic little device that costs around $100. All you have to do is plug it in and turn it on. It'll boot up and most likely start recognizing devices you already have. Once that's done, you may quickly add more. Finally, when you first start off, don't get carried away and construct complex automations. Begin simply, focusing on one room at a time. In fact, you can be even more specific by concentrating on one activity at a time. Consider a problem in your life, automate it, and move on to the next one. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. We'll see you in the next video.